have not this, but do you have any different classes or are you just doing
I
these?
do. Are you on my WhatsApp group, Zena?
I don't think so. Could you reply to me in an email and give it to me and I'll send.
Yes, I
Okay.
am going to.
Classes or you
Okay.
just doing these?
I do. Are you? I'm going to send you my WhatsApp group link so you can join.
Okay.
Because I communicate there as well during the week with the girls and kind of give them uplifting messages and sending my smile in the morning so in case they don't have one like I did today.
Okay.
So
Okay.
definitely, I'm gonna send that to you. Okay.
All righty. Thank you.
All right. Love you. Take care. Thank you. We're about to go live. We are about to go live, you guys. We're about to go live on none other than 3 minutes, 4 minutes. We're about to go live in 3 or 4 minutes. Okay, you guys? So thank you for joining and being here. Today's conversation is going to be, of course, we are picking up where we left off on emotional intelligence. Unlocking your leadership potential with emotional intelligence. So, yes, we got a few more minutes before we get started here. So, I want to make sure that before we get started, and we are live, beautiful people. Kind of letting everybody know that we are live. We are live. Okay, so I'm live here on Zoom for those that are here on the private side of things. And I'll be sharing my screen. So for those that join can see. So for those that join can see. So let's see here. We got about 2 more minutes because I'm here early. I'm here early. So I got to make sure that I send everybody information about the group, the WhatsApp group that they can join and and my other master classes that I have coming up. I have a master class coming up. So before we get started here, today we have about a minute before we get started. So for those who are here with me early, thank you for joining. We're about to start the conversation. Today is our last week. This is our last week. Ah, last week for unlocking your leadership potential with emotional intelligence. Yes. So I like to also, I want to make sure I mention Men Talk University because thehillmantalk.com. So I had a few people that also asked in the live last time. I had a few people join in the, hi, Michelle. Those that are joining on the Zoom, hello. Those that are joining, those that are joining on the Zoom, those that are live on live on TikTok. Hello. This is you are joining the last class. It's officially 9 at 11 o'clock, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So let me get rid of this here, you guys. Give me a second. Um, of course, people are gonna start calling me now. Why do they do that? Why do people do this to me? They start calling when they know. Remove and hi Michelle. Thank you for showing up.
I'm
Okay,
sad this is our
so
last class.
yes, it is our last class, but not the last time we'll be connecting for sure. For sure. Did you look at you? Look at your arms out. That's right. I just came from a run and I had to like go and freshen up a little bit. I was like, oh my gosh, I got too close to the time. And then I have people visiting from family visiting. So it was like a rush. I had Zena on earlier and she's like, it should have been at 10. I was like, I tried, girl. I really did. I really did try to make the session today at 10 for her time zone, but it just didn't work out that way. Otherwise, I wouldn't be showing up here, you know? And so she's gonna watch the recording. So, yes, everyone, today is our last 6 weeks. 1, 2, 3, done. Class is over. So, let's kind of do a quick recap for those that were here or were not here and do not recall. First week, we talked about unlocking emotional intelligence 101 what it is, and we kind of went over the broad 4 or 5 different points, composite of emotional intelligence. And then the second week we talked about self-awareness, to see yourself, to lead yourself, and we went a little bit deep into that. Self-awareness is, of course, the cornerstone of emotional intelligence. And then we talked about self-management. And I mentioned that this is the one that gets me every time, mastering your inner critic. And we talked about some of those family members that we have up here. And once you get aware, be aware of those family members, those 3 family members, then you can kind of know how to gear yourself and you can get ahead of it, right? And then week 4, we talked about social awareness and empathy, leading with heart, right? Social awareness involves understanding the emotions of others and responding with empathy, right? Sometimes we don't always do that. So being a little bit more conscientious of how we show up in spaces and how people perceive us, right? Week 5, which was last week, we talked about relationship management. You know, we put EQ in action and we gave some actionable homework for those that were here and those that are actually in the class. And then this week is our last week. We're talking about integration and impact. So this is a little bit more free falling. I want to show you guys how your EQ leadership blueprint and where you can go from here, right? We did a broad stroke. I gave you guys like the basics, and then I went as a little bit skin deep, but didn't go too deep, because when it comes to emotional intelligence, it's very personal. It's very personal. And why is it personal? Because it's emotions and it's humans, right? And when it's emotions and humans, 9 times out of 10, you know, people are going to always be in their feelings. Right? Because that's what emotions are. People are in their feelings. And the thing is that when it shows up for you, what does that look like? Right? Because it doesn't look like, you know, rainbows and sunshine every time. And when it doesn't, what do you do about it, right? Because you got to be able to you got to do something about it. You don't just let it happen and keep coming and that's it, right? So this week, the final session, you know, I want you to take a breath, take a bow, pat yourself on the back, because you showed up every single week, whether you watched the recording, and whether you showed up live, you did it. You didn't just show up, you leaned in, you did the homework, you got uncomfortable, you became aware, you reflected, you grew just a little bit taller, and now it's time to kind of integrate it all together. So this week, pulling it all together, get into that final destination of what you see yourself looking like. And I kind of want to start with I shared with you guys last week your statement, because that statement, your, what do we call it, your leadership statement, that statement determines how you want to see yourself eventually, right? Because remember, we're always becoming, we're always growing, we're always changing, we're always leveling up, right? And because that's always the case, I'm going to share here on the screen. For those that are in the class, we'll be able to see it. For those that are not, I'll simply read it for you guys so you guys will be able to see it. You can see it, right, Michelle? Anybody else? You can see it? Yes. Okay, great. So let me make it just a little bit bigger. Da, da, da. Okay. Okay. So here's you need your emotional intelligence leadership blueprint. We all need one, right? And what that looks like, what it looks like for me, it may not look like the same for you. But I do, ooh, it's too big now. Oh, it's too big. Okay, hold on. Hold on here, Michelle. I'm gonna figure this out. All right, let's kind of figure this out. Hold on. Okay, I made it too big and it just set me all over the world. Hold on. So your leadership blueprint helps you determine what let's say, what is it that you want people to think when they think of you? What is it that you want them to think? When you see yourself in a mirror, what is it that you want to see and what is it that you want to continue to work on and become, right? Because we're always evolving, always changing, right? I shared last week that quote from Carl Jung, a philosopher from back in the day. And let me see if I can put my hands on that quote really quick. Okay, so he said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate, right? Which means that if you are not aware of your subconscious motivations and your patterns, they will unknowingly always control your behavior and choices. And you will attribute those results to pretty much fate, destiny. Michelle, are you in my WhatsApp group? Okay, so and I shared the quote this morning. I was telling Zena, I'm like, she's in that WhatsApp group. She's like, oh, I'm gonna send me the link. I forgot to join. So and I shared that this morning with everyone in the group, and I mentioned that not until you know what it is that you are thinking is how you can determine, because what you're thinking is what you're feeling. Did you guys know that? What you are thinking is what you are feeling. It's you can't want to feel like $1,000, but yet you are thinking like you have less than $1,000. It don't match, right? It don't match, people. So you can't think greater than how you feel, and you can't feel greater than than what you believe. So make sure that you're constantly checking what you are thinking up here, and I call it stinking thinking, right? That you can feel, and I said this all the time, you can feel down about whatever particular situation, but it's important that you know that you put a time limit on that, right? Because you don't want to be thinking and feeling that way forever. 24/7, right? You don't want to live in that house. You want to just passing through. You want to pass through that house, but you don't want to live there forever, right? You want to constantly upgrade. So let me go back to sharing what I was sharing, and I'll read out loud what that statement can look like. And I mentioned to those that are in the class, I gave them already the template, and then just you changing it so you can let it mean what you want it to mean. So here's the statement, right? It says, I am so all of the first letters of each one of these sentences, you start your sentence with those letters. So you have to determine what the rest of that sentence looks like, and I'll share mine with you guys, right? So I have a bunch of these because if you guys look at my wall, I have like a lot of affirmations and words and statements to keep my mind going in the right direction, right? And the direction that I want it to go in, right? Not toxic positivity, but real, right? Let's, remember your feelings are just messages. And so you can feel what you need to feel, but you got to make sure that you are not feeling that forever and that you try to reframe, right? So here's the statement. It says, I am an emotional intelligence thought leader, status quo disruptor, and change maker. right? I challenge outdated leadership norms and redefine success through emotional intelligence, authenticity, and connection. I lead with clarity, confidence, and compassion, knowing that leadership is not about power, but about impact. I embrace growth over perfection, progress over fear, and learning over ego. I do not shrink myself to fit outdated expectations. I take up space. I own my voice, and I inspire others to do the same. I believe that leaders are not measured by how much control they have, but by how much trust they build. I create safe spaces where people can thrive, where they can grow, and where they can lead unapologetically. I commit to continuous learning, bold actions, and fearless innovation. I let go of self doubt. I embrace challenges, and I choose courage over comfort. I am not just here to participate, I am here to lead, I am here to elevate, and I am here to transform. Period. Period. So, Michelle, did you started working on your statement? Work on your statement.
Mine is done, yes.
Oh, I love it. Do you have it there? You want to share it?
Sure.
Do you feel comfortable sharing? I don't want to put you on the
Sure.
spot if you don't want to share it.
I don't have a problem sharing it.
Okay, great. You can read it out loud or you can just share here if you want. Either way is fine.
I'll pull it up and I'll share it. How about that? And I'll talk about it. Hold on, I gotta send a request for you to allow
Yep.
share.
Allow. Thank you. Yay, Michelle's going to share her statement with us.
Yes. Can you see it?
It's coming up. Yes, I can.
Awesome.
Oh.
So I went through and answered like a bunch of questions about myself and did like a self-assessment and then fit it into your format. So mine says, I am an empowerer, advocate, and builder of leaders. I challenge exclusionary systems and redefine leadership through trust, transparency, and uplift. I lead with purpose, passion, and resilience, knowing that leadership is not about control, but about growth. I embrace empowerment over ego, collaboration over competition, and education over secrecy. I do not dim my light to make others comfortable. I've been dinged for that. I speak truth. I create opportunity. I push others to rise with me. I believe that leaders are not measured by their titles, but by their strength and confidence they inspire in others. I create space where people feel seen, supported, and safe enough to lead boldly. I commit to honest feedback, generous mentorship, and leading with integrity. I release the fear of being too much and instead choose to lead with presence, clarity, and conviction. I am not just here to be heard. I am here to lead, uplift, and make a lasting impact.
My goodness. I love the part where you said, I believe that leaders are not measured by their titles, but by strength and confidence they inspire in others. I create spaces where people feel seen, supported, and safe enough to lead boldly. Oh, yes. I do not dim my light to make others comfortable. I speak truth. I create opportunity. I push others to rise with me. Did you guys hear that? Rise with me. Like, we ain't gatekeeping. We are not stingy with sharing and bringing others along with us. We're setting the elevator down. I'm waiting for you to come up with me. Let's go. Thank you for sharing, Michelle. I love it. That was beautiful. Amazing.
Thank you.
Cry.
Aw.
I really appreciate you sharing that. That was lovely. I felt that. I felt all of it. I felt all of it. So I have a treat for you guys, which is what I was telling Zena, that I have a client And in case you guys didn't know, I did not only study emotional intelligence in the workplace and see how it can benefit the employee and the leader and the entire organization, right? And how it can boost profits and turnover and engagement for employees. But I also I am certified in emotional intelligence and how to measure it. So I'm a certified practitioner as well. Look like Zena is trying to get in here. She said, I got to be here. So we also have everybody that's on the Zoom that joined the class. And in case you guys did not know, this is HillmanTok. So HillmanTok University, you guys, in case you don't know about it, you need guys to just do your research, okay? But the fact that you're here, HillmanTok, thehillmantalk.com. For those that, if you want to, I'm gonna do this course again, maybe fall or winter, but unlocking your leadership potential. With emotional intelligence. If you're interested in joining the class, that's where you can join it. thehillmantalk.com, Hillman Talk University, and it's for everyone. And this is for life. Zena, look at you. You couldn't resist. My meeting ended early. Ain't God good? You for being here. You just hopped in. Oh my goodness, I love it. I love it. So you came in just in time. In case you have yours, Zine, I didn't want to leave you out. Did you want to? We just shared our emotional intelligence blueprint, the template that I sent. If you have your statement and you finished it and you wanted to share it, you're open to do that. I just shared mine's and Michelle shared hers, and I did not want to leave you out since you were here as well.
I
The
don't have it. Let me see. You go in.
Yeah, you can see if you have it. If not, that's fine. This is, let me kind of share and show you how it looked so you can kind of remember, because I sent a lot of stuff. It's been a lot of stuff going on.
I'm trying to
So
see. You talking
see,
about the very first
now
one?
here's the template that I sent, where I
Oh, I
said
have
the
it.
green one is the one, the first three letters of the green area is what you're gonna kind of start the sentence with, and then the other underline one is the one that you're gonna actually put your words in there, right? And what that means, what they mean for you. So this is your emotional intelligence leadership blueprint statement, right? And this is what is going to take you to your next, because every single time that you think that you can't do it, this should remind you that you can, right? Because I lead
Mhm.
with clarity. I do not shrink myself. I believe that leaders are not measured by how much they control. I commit to continuous learning, right? I am an emotional intelligence leader. I challenge outdated leadership, and I am not just here to participate. I am here to lead, to elevate, and to transform. So if you have yours, you don't have to share it now, but if you ever between now and our conversation and you come up with it, perfectly, just let me know and I can have you share it. But I said I had a treat for you guys today, and I wanted to share with you the a client of mine's, her emotional intelligence assessment that
Okay.
she did. And I want to show you guys how uh, wait, let me pull it up, because only those that are actually in the class will be able to see it, in case if you guys are here on YouTube, you'll be able to see it as well. But okay,
Michelle, your background looks, I need to go sit in my backyard. It looks so nice and peaceful.
yes, it does.
Thank you. I'm
Oh
watching
my
the
goodness.
hummingbirds fly by. It's very peaceful.
Right.
Okay, so here we go. Let me know. I want to share. I want to share this screen one. So let me know if you guys can see this screen. And I'll put you guys down low here. You guys can see this?
Yes.
Yay! Okay, great. Okay, so let me put this on the side over here so I can see the entire screen. Okay, so what I wanted to share here is, if you guys can see, this client that I have her emotional intelligence assessment, right, that she did, and working one-on-one with her. we went deep. So if you guys can see, look at her. This is the overall score. Her overall score is 112 out of 130, right? This is the official EQ assessment, EQI 2.0, eh, from the multi-health system. And her overall is 112. So you're like, oh, okay, so that means that her EQ, her emotional intelligence, is decently high, right? It's not too bad, right? She's doing, is good. Look at that. Once, look at the gap is very small, right? This gap is very small. Let me go a little bit deeper to let you see how big that gap is. And this is why I love, and I'm going to geek out probably a little bit, you guys, just calm me down or tell me to calm down. I'm okay with it. So, okay, so here we go. This is how real it is, right? And I want to make it like your day-to-day and how it affects your day-to-day more than you actually think it does. So let's look at her self-perception, which we know already is self-awareness, right? This is how she sees herself, her self-regard, her self-actualization, her emotional self-awareness, understanding her own emotions, pretty high, 118, 116, 110. This area is high. This means that she is pretty self-aware. She knows how to express herself and she knows what she is feeling, right? So she knows a lot. She got a lot going on there, so which is perfect. And then look at her self-expression, meaning how she expresses those emotions. Her emotional emotional expression, 109. Her assertiveness, take note, it's 86. And then look at her independence, 119. You're like, okay, I mean, assertiveness, look at that. And then look at her interpersonal composite, which is her, how she communicate with other people and how other people feel around her. Fairly high, 120, 111, 116. Look at her decision making, overall 108. And her stress management, 102. But if you go into the details, flexibility, stress tolerance, not so high, right? All right. So I wanted you guys to see that. Now let's go with the lowest one. The lowest score that she has here is assertiveness, right? Which is 86. So if you look at her assertiveness, this is the lowest score. Sitting at the lower end of the scale, it signals she avoid conflicts. She struggles to voice her needs. She hesitates to set boundaries. That's what that is. Assertiveness, communicating her feelings, her beliefs, and in a non-offensive way. If she think about this, let me kind of show you guys how they play on each other. If she herself expression is so high, 109, if she knows what she needs to say and she knows how she needs to feel, how she feels, but if she can't communicate direction, if she can't communicate her boundaries, she ain't going nowhere. Right? Because she look at herself, I mean, her emotional expression. She's good at, I mean, she knows what it is, how to express herself, but when it comes to her giving directives and giving rules and telling people, hey, you know what? I don't want to be a part of this relationship anymore. She don't want to sacrifice that. And if we want to go a little bit further, she will sacrifice what she feels about that relationship, so much so that she wants to save the relationship. Her relationship score is 120. So she prizes having relationships over her speaking up and speaking her voice. Now her emotional intelligence is not that high now, right? It's not as high as it looked. Zena, were you saying something?
Well, I was just trying because it's conflicting. So does it make her a little passive, or it's like I do this and then I don't do that, but
Right. So
it's
that means that
conflicting.
she has a problem asserting herself. She has a problem
Okay.
speaking up for her own voice. She knows what she's feeling, but she's like, I'm not gonna say that because if I say that, he may get mad. And then I want this relationship. I prize this relationship more than what I have to say. So I'll just sit in this meeting and I won't say anything. No, I'll just keep it to myself.
This opens up in my brain so many more questions that I would want to know about the situation, because immediately as a Black woman, I'm thinking, is she feeling that she doesn't have a voice? Because if she says something, there's going to be consequence.
Right.
So we know what we want to say, we know how we want to say it, but we're afraid to assert that because of consequence.
Right. And it depends on the situation, right? And it's, you know, it doesn't matter. She's in a meeting, she's in a relationship, she's in a group, she's in a job that, and none of those things are supporting her health or adding to her well-being. She's gonna stay quiet.
So,
She,
so does it even like she or he trying
yeah,
to dim their light, dim so I'm dimming my light to kind of let you shine a little brighter.
you guys are analyzing this with me.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
because that's what it seems like.
yes.
I'm dumbing myself down, either at work or at home or even in my friendships. I'm
All of
no
it.
right. I'm not
All
doing
of
it.
it.
That's not me.
So it just so let's go a little bit deeper. Despite her, look at her independence. Her independence is 119, meaning
Right,
how how she can self-direct. She can take initiative on her own. She is free from emotional dependency. She don't depend on anybody for anything, but it might keep her she might keep it despite strong independence, she might keep her autonomy quiet rather than being confidently communicating her views. It could undermine, look at her social responsibility. It's 116. It's high. If she avoids speaking up when stuff is unfair, it's she's sacrificing those relationships that she prized so much.
right. Oh wow.
So you see how emotional, just because the person has high emotional intelligence, when you get down and you see how those emotions play on your independence, how it plays on your flexibility, how it plays, and look at it. Let's go a little bit further. If she's not assertive and speaking up for herself, her flexibility, her stress tolerance goes down because she can't voice her opinion. She feels like she can't voice her opinion in that particular situation or with that particular person. So her stress tolerance is going to go down. She's like, I can't. This is not good for me. But look at her optimism, positive attitude, and outlook on life. There is such a thing as toxic optimism. So she will say in situations, man, yeah, he doesn't treat me well. Yeah, we had an argument and he pushed me yesterday, but it's okay. He loves me. Everything is gonna be great. He loves me. He's gonna take care of me, and everything's gonna be. That would just happen one time. It's not gonna happen again.
Yeah, that butt, the butts. So I'm like me and one of my siblings, right? So my nephew, he called me and he said his mom said I said this, right? And I said, Rodney, you know your aunt, right? I'm either Dr. Dale, you say, Zena, did you do this? I'm gonna tell you, yes, I did, or no, I didn't. It's no,
Right.
I did it because, or I did it this way, but I'm not putting, it's no gray area when it's with me. I did it or I didn't do it.
Didn't do it.
So in this person here, oh well, yeah, but he's all those excuses.
Yes.
A lot of excuses with no solutions.
Exactly, because she wants to make sure, remember, her relationship stays intact because she cares about relationships very much. She cares about, taking care of others, her empathy, 111, right? And if we go into the flexibility, look at her flexibility, which is her stress management side of things. This score is just below the mid-range area, right? Which is right here. Is just below that. So she has difficulty adapting quickly to change, holding on to routines so tightly that when it's time for her to pivot and change and do better, she struggles. And that can disrupt her problem solving. Look at that. When solutions require you to think outside of the box, that means that she's going to have to be flexible. And when that happens, she says, she kind of backtracks. So this is why it's important for you to get a handle on how your emotions are showing up in these different areas, because they are limiting you in a very deep way and a really clear way. So to help her with those, she has to reframe. She has to change how she sees things. She has to introduce being more flexible. She has to maybe journal a little bit. She's gonna have to do kind of improvise exercises to boost her emotional agility, right? And to get comfortable with that, she's going to need an accountability partner. She's going to need somebody to support her in developing more healthier structures in her day to day if she wants to really level up, right? Because remember, these things are holding you back without you even knowing that they're holding you back. Hi, you guys that are live. Thank you for showing up. Mercedes, hello. So you got to make sure that you get a handle on that way ahead of time, right? So let's do one more before we get out of here in terms of this this example that I wanted to show you guys. Her stress tolerance, which is coping with stressful situation, this shows that she struggled with sustained pressure. When unexpected challenges happen, she don't do so well. And even though it's not in the danger zone, it's notably lower than the rest of her profile apart from assertiveness. So despite her strong optimism down here, low stress tolerance may mean she talks herself into positive things that are actually very negative and doesn't work for her. So she talks herself into it. Her body, her behavior still feel overwhelmed. She's like, no, everything is fine. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. All I have to do is sing for 5 minutes and everything will be fine. When in reality, the house is burning down. The house is burning down, and she is simply singing everything is fine, as if singing everything is fine is going to make everything fine, and it doesn't.
Right, right.
It doesn't. This is really it's dangerous, right? So think about how that plays out in all of the relationships that she has, right? She might mean she knows it might mean that she knows she's stressed, but without strong tolerance skills, she can't manage it. If she's not assertive enough to say, hey, you know what, this is not working for me, she's not assertive enough to walk away from that. She knows how she's feeling. She's like, yeah, I'm stressed. But if she can't tell people, hey, you know what, I need help on this project, she's gonna be superwoman all day. She's gonna be superwoman all day and and let everybody think, oh man, she's good because she's so positive, everything is great. When the fire is burning, her house is burning down on the inside. Not cool.
Right.
Not
She
cool at
se-
all.
she seems to me, um, you know how you have friends? I have friends. I don't want my friends to agree with everything I do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And she
Yeah,
seems like she knows Zena, she know in her head, Zena,
yeah,
that's wrong. You know that's wrong in her head.
yeah.
But then she goes along with, no, I don't want that type of friend around
She's
me.
not gonna
I
tell you. She doesn't
She's
feel
not gonna
comfortable
tell
telling
me.
you.
She seems like she want everyone to be happy and it's roses and
Yes.
balloons, and she's not
Zena,
gonna
yes.
hold you accountable. And me and my little small group that I have now, we hold each other accountable, good, bad, or indifferent. And because I lost a few friends that way, because I told them, you was dead wrong for what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And so,
Yeah.
and I tell them I'm not that friend that's going to agree with you when I know you're doing wrong. So that's, she seems like even in the workplace, in her relationship, and in her friendships, oh, I just want everybody to like me. I want everything to be okay, even though, Zena, you're not doing your work. Oh, Zena, I got it. Let me do it because you know the report is due. It seems like that type of lady, that person. So she needs,
Right.
yes, she needs some help.
Right. So that's what I'm telling you. This is why it's important for you to know, not only know the overall score, but going to the breakdown and see how they play on each other so that way you can know what areas you need to focus on. And of course, looking at that, she has three, the three main areas that we're going to work on is her assertiveness, her flexibility, and her stress, right? And so we're not going to focus on all of them because there's only so much you can do. But let's focus on one. What do you think which one is going to be the most impactful in your relationships right now to make you a better person? And that's the one we focus on, and that's the one that we set smart goals to, and that's the one that we're going to have accountability, and we're going to make it specific, we're going to make it measurable, we're going to make it attainable, right? And we're going to make it actionable and timed, right? So that way, every single week or every other week, we're following up to seeing where you are and how you're doing better. And what are some examples and what show up for you today, right? Because whatever happens on a day-to-day basis and different days, it's different, right? And it's not the same every single day. And the support that you may need today may not be the same support you need tomorrow, right? But that depends on you knowing what you need. So you can know what to do when it comes to emotional intelligence. But if you don't practice it, if you don't practice inteligencia emocional, you're doing nothing. It means nothing, right? It means nothing because they interact in different ways. Michelle says, if you lost them, they weren't your true friends to begin with, Zena. I don't think we can hear you, Zena, if you're speaking.
I totally agree with you, Michelle. No love lost there. None whatsoever. I don't need the fake friends around me. Like when we were talking last week, it's people that genuinely do not like you and they are in your circle.
Uh,
So I want that person away from me because you never know what that person will do to you. So yeah, I
yeah.
no love lost.
Yes, and not only that, think about it. It's how can that person stay there and be in your circle and just be like in front of you, like, but in
Because
reality,
they need something from you. It's something you have, so they stick close to you. They need it's something you have. You may not know it, but they
yeah,
need something from you.
yeah, I agree with
It's
you. I
at
agree with
work.
you.
At work, they may not like you because you outshine them, but oh, let me go to Zena or Michelle or
Yeah,
Dr. Dale
right.
because I need that, whatever they need from us.
And
That
they're leeching,
Judas,
right? And I say this all the
right.
time. Yeah, that whatever you think that they're not taking anything, but there's such a thing. Everything is energy, right? So what is it that they're sucking from you,
The
right?
bloodsuckers. Yes. Right.
Bloodsuckers.
The
They're
bloodsuckers.
Get rid of those bloodsuckers, people.
Hmm. And everything reveals itself eventually.
Eventually.
Everything it reveals. I don't care how you think you got away with it, good, bad, or indifferent. My mom always says, a horse run fast, don't run long. Eventually you're gonna get caught.
A horse run fast, but it does not run long.
Don't put the but in there because that's not how my mom said.
What? How did she say it? Tell me.
She says, the old school, a horse run fast, don't run long.
Don't run
So
long.
you can fix that how you want to make it sound, but that's how it came out of my mom's life. And when you're
Okay.
younger,
I
and
love like quotes and sayings and stuff. I
right,
love those back in the old days, those people, they had the best. I was like, what? Say that
right,
again?
they did, they did.
Not long. Very true, right? Very true. So
Okay, here's one more. Let me give you another one.
give me another.
Nothing beats a failure but a try.
Yeah.
If you don't try, you'll never know. So nothing beats a failure but a try.
Very true. Very true. I love it. So you guys see, like, was that a good example? Did you guys see how deep this kind of stuff can go as it relates to emotional intelligence and in practice, right? How it can speak to all of your relationships and how you show up. So I wanted to give you guys talk about one more thing before we get out of here is at the end of the day, the people when you're dealing with interacting and having on your journey of emotional intelligence, you have to know what your communication style is, right? And you have to know what you bring to the table, right? What know what you bring to that communication, right? When with my husband, I bring laughter and I bring the light mood, but at the same time, I'm going to tell you what I need to tell you because I need to make sure that you understand where I'm coming from because I need to get my needs met. I need to make sure that you understand what I need. And then if you choose now to not tell me what your needs are, that's not on me, right? That's on you because I'm creating the space and I'm doing the best that I can for you to feel comfortable enough to share with me. But if you choose not to do that and go down that road with me and being vulnerable and sharing what moves you and what doesn't move you and what your likes and your dislikes are, can't help you. Can't help you, right? And I used to say this all the time when employees decided to leave the organization without giving um myself or should I say the HR team an opportunity to fix it. I can't say I have much respect for you because you need to ring the bell. You don't ring the bell with your manager if you have a problem with him. You already rang the bell with him. He ain't listening. Go to somebody else and see if anybody else can listen, either to his manager, to HR, mainly to HR first, and then if they don't do anything, now it's on me, right? It's on me that I did not do anything about it, right? Because that's and so when you come to a relationship, know what you bring to the table. When you come to that communication, know what you bring to the table. um do you bring presence, right? Do you bring clarity? Do you bring good questions? you know do you know how to de-escalate when things go south? Do you bring calm and energy? Like I was in a training the other day, and this dude that I was in the training with, I'm like, man, you have a very calm demeanor, like very calm, relaxed demeanor, and you can sense that from him, right? I'm like, clearly you don't sense that from me. I need all of the energies. Right? And there's a time and a place for everything, right? There's a time and a place for everything and the different situation, right? Do you bring follow-up? Like, are you a good person that follows up? Do you know how to be silent, when to be silent? Do you bring humor, right? You got to know where it is that you land on that spectrum so that way, because sometimes one of my things my family is very good at is that when situations are tense, we joke a lot. My brothers, they bring a lot of fun and joke to kind of lighten the mood, right? And that's something that if you do it too much, then it can be not healthy, right? Because then we're not addressing the problems. We're just joking around and then we walk away like, man, and then you go and talk whatever the situation happened with somebody else. Right? Instead of talking to the situation about with the person that actually hurt you or caused that uncomfortable situation to happen, right? And then how do you respond to that? So one question on what's one communication strength you bring to the relationships, to all of your relationships. All right. So think about that. What's one habit that you think might be blocking trust or connection? What is one thing you think is stopping you from going deeper with those relationships that you have? Right? What is it that you feel like you need to show up as your best? I tell the husband, I still tell him up to today, you're just too negative. You're too negative, right? But he's a realist. Like if it's black and white, he needs to see it to believe it. He don't go too much on hopes and dreams. right? He's factual. He's very data driven, right? What is that? What is that for you? Him, and in those, I would say that, he can use a little bit more perspective on empathy, right? On looking at it from other people's perspective, right? And for me, I am maybe a little bit too much, too positive about it, right? I can be too positive, or I can, I used to be in other relationships before I got married. I used to avoid, right? I like to avoid, pretend it doesn't exist, right? But at the end of the day, if you don't know what you bring to the table and what weaknesses and strengths that you have, your emotional intelligence is going it's going nowhere. So that's what I wanted to make sure that now that you know a little bit about all of the different points of view, how it applies to your life and how the different emotions play on each other. Now you decide, okay, you have whatever area that you want to work on, and then what's that next level up for you, right? Because it doesn't stop here. We already discussed that this is an ongoing forever journey that we are going to be on, and the question is, how are you going to continue your journey, right? I gave you guys your personal blueprint. You have your particular one area that you want to that you want to work on. Start working on it, for yourself. If you have an accountability partner, perfect. If you have someone that you want someone to kind of guide and be more efficient and coach you on, then definitely, you can reach out to me. But make sure that you are showing up for yourself, because whether you are leading a team, launching a dream, or managing a home, or building your confidence, emotional intelligence isn't something you master once, right? It's a lifetime practice. It's a leadership lifestyle. So don't stop here. Keep going. And you're ready for it because you got the basics already, right? The rest of it, now you just got to put goals attached to it and start holding yourself accountable. Sometimes, and that's the reason why a lot of people have coaches and mentors, right? And people that you have groups. Zena mentioned groups that she's a part of that holds her accountable, that asks those hard questions so that way she can continue to level up. We all should have those, right? So let's close this out with not a period, but an exclamation point, right? An exclamation point of on purpose, because you are not doing this just for you. You're doing it for the people that are coming behind you, and you're doing it for the people that you have in your life that you know, like, and trust, right? So let your emotional intelligence leadership step boldly into this world, into your next. And use the tools that I shared. Definitely, you guys have my contact. Reach out. I'm going to send the WhatsApp group information so that you guys can, I think, Zena, you're not on it, and those that haven't already joined can definitely join. It's just free coaching, free motivation, inspiration. The world has enough of the not so positive things. You don't need to add anything else here to all of that negativity. That people are going to add that to you for free, right? So why not make sure that you balance the things, balance it out, right? Balance it out, and scale your next, right? Zena, you wanted to share something?
No, I just wanted to tell you how much I appreciate you. You come with this light. You always light. You always bubbly, and it's kind of crazy what I'm getting ready to say. But like when Trump won and they discovered the TikTok, the Hillman University,
Yeah.
the free courses. So I appreciate you take your time out to educate us further, right? I appreciate that because in this country, everything is not free. Like in Finland, they go to school for free, college and everything. So now we have the student loans and this, that. So just you make it so much better because I wanted to take another one of these, even though in my MBA program, we touched on this, but the way you deliver it, it makes it make a whole lot of sense because it seemed like everything was just in the microwave. You do this, you do that, and it's so fast. But
Right.
you're taking your time and you explaining things to us. And I really appreciate it. Even so when you're saying stuff, a lot of things are triggering, right? So I'm like, oh, okay, I remember that. I remember that. I remembered it from, my one
Yeah.
of my classes. So I just want to say thank you. And again, if you have any more courses, classes, I would love to do.
I do, and I said earlier, I definitely will. I'll do the Hillman talk again, but it'll be the same because it's one-on-one basics. But you guys are ready for the next. I'm sorry, you're ready for the next. You got the basics already, and you got to keep on growing up this. You got to keep going up the steps. Look at Duranda, Duranda. You play too much, right? You play way too much. It's lovely to see your beautiful face. Thank you so much for joining. I know you've been here for a little bit. So you gotta keep going up those steps and don't be afraid to go up those steps, right? And I know it's uncomfortable because when you have to share a part of you and look and see what is the fact that you don't want to share a part of you, what is that? What is causing that? And what's the story behind that? Right? And I say all the time there's a difference between a therapist and a coach because a therapist is going to focus on what happened to you, right? They're looking at your trauma, your family history, the things that did or didn't happen, your mom or dad did or didn't do that contributed to where you are today and what you're thinking and whether you have those healthy relationships, right? But a coach focuses on we know some stuff happened in the past, but we're gonna be future focused, right? We future focus, right? What is it that you want to work on? And then what are those one or two things you want to work on? And we're going to go from there going forward, right? So it just slowly starts reframing your mind, right? And it doesn't happen overnight. Oh, I wish it happened overnight, but it doesn't happen overnight because it took you 41, 35 years to adapt to the way you're thinking today, right? About people and about those relationships. It took you a long time to develop that, my friend. So it's going to take you a long time a little bit of time to kind of unravel because we need to unlearn to relearn, right? And then once you realize it, then you can kind of level up and move forward from there. Because one thing about emotional intelligence is that once you know, like, man, that girl, her assertiveness, she knows now. Now she is like white on rice. Like now she's like very intentional. She's like, now she had a conversation with her sister that she had to be more assertive. She's like, no, that's not something that I want to do. And she's like, she had to write it down and practice it so that way she can start speaking up for herself, right? So now she's like, oh, stepping all over me. This is what I've been doing. Now her light is on, her light bulb is on, and now she's acting, right? That person that we, showed. So now that she's aware of that and she wants to do better in those areas, she realized that she was a doormat all of this time. And now she don't want to be a doormat no more. Now she's a fully awake. And now she's just getting a little bit of help to get her there. Right. And after a couple of months, she's going to be well on her way. She won't even need me or anybody else. Right. Because now she can start working on those things herself. But you need somebody to help get you going. All right. All right. Almost there. And that's how it works. And I love this stuff because I struggle with it. Right. It always starts there. It was like, this was a struggle for me. My family just didn't know how to speak to each other, didn't know how to show up, and didn't know how to be vulnerable and strong all at the same time because vulnerability is strength. Vulnerability is strength, right? So that's what I wanted to say. And this is it, you guys. We are done. I'm going to do. I'm sorry, Duranda kind of popped out. I think she said she was gonna. Did she say she had to leave? No, she didn't say anything. I
No,
hope
I'm
Duranda.
still here. I'm still here. I'm just trying to rebuild something for my baby. I want y'all looking at my double
Oh, you're
chin.
good. I was just gonna do.
It's rain day.
Okay.
I'm gonna do a screenshot to see if you guys wanted to do a screenshot with me. I do want to take your pictures. because I really enjoy this class. If you guys are okay, you guys have beautiful smiles, and you're already set goals. So if you guys okay with that, I can do like a picture. Are you guys okay with that? I think I said it last class that that's what we're gonna do. So one, okay, wait, I wasn't smiling. Hold on. I don't know why my mouth is wide open like that. Why? Why, Jesus? Okay, let's try this again. One, two, and three. Hold on. I can't. No, it took Zena, what were you wiping off your face? What were you doing? Okay, let's try this again. We gonna get it, you guys. We gonna get this, you guys. Okay, one, two, and three. Three. Oh, you guys are beautiful. Now we're talking. It worked. It worked. Okay, great. Did you guys want to say anything before we get out of here? Zena, were you able to find your transformation leadership blueprint? Duranda, did you do your transformational blueprint? The you didn't finish your sentence and whatnot. You didn't finish it. Okay, that's okay. Zena, if you didn't finish yours, that's quite all right as well. Michelle shared hers and I shared mine. And you can have a bunch of these and you can update these because as you grow and level up in life, you know, your voice, you become, like Michelle Obama's book says, you're always becoming, you're always changing, and you got to move with the times, right? With the different points of you and all the phases of you. Okay. So if you don't have it, Zena, it's fine. Duranda, you guys got to do it. I'm going to send it again. Okay. And you know what? I'm going to ask you, I'm going to challenge you to send it to me so I
I'm
can.
gonna send it to you. I'm gonna send it to you. I just had a real. It's been a week,
I'm
child.
going to
It's been a
challenge
week.
you, Zena, as well to send me your leadership blueprint. I'm going to send you guys a template again so that way you guys can have it and you guys can just redo it with the words and put your words in it. And just print it out and put it in front of you and just let that be your guide to how you want to show up every single day.
Can I hear yours? I wasn't
Yes,
in here.
I'll share. I was just going to say that. That can be the last thing I do here before we get out of here. All right. I am an emotional intelligence thought leader, status
Okay.
quo disruptor, and change maker. I challenge outdated leadership norms and redefine success through emotional intelligence, authenticity, and connection. I lead with clarity, confidence, and compassion, knowing that leadership is not about power, but about impact. I embrace growth over perfection, progress over fear, and learning over ego. I do not shrink myself to fit outdated expectations. I take up space. I own my voice and I inspire others to do the same.
Love
I
it.
believe that leaders are not measured by how much control they have, but by how much trust they build. I create safe spaces where people can thrive, grow, and lead unapologetically. I commit to continuous learning, bold action, and fearless innovation. I let go of self doubt, embrace challenges, and I choose courage over comfort. I am not here to just participate. I am here to lead, to elevate, and transform.
I love it. I
Don't you
love it.
feel so much better? Just imagine you stand in front of the mirror, you just recite your blueprint every single morning. You show up, your shoulders go back a little bit, your high, your head go up a little higher, and you are so much you're better. You feel better. You feel good, and you dare anybody to do anything less than these things to you. You dare anyone.
I love it. I love it.
Okay, so God bless. I'll see you guys on the inside, my WhatsApp group and my email, and you guys have my number as well. So don't feel, uneasy to text and whatever there as well. So later.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate you.